Hey, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time joining me, I'm tamaracanham, and as usual, thank you for clicking on that big Z. Yeah. So today we are just going to be doing a very simple eyebrow tutorial. I do have another eyebrow tutorial in case you guys haven't seen that. You can go check it out because there is a step that I do that I did not include in this tutorial. So if you want to see that, the last step, which you'll find out which step it is in this tutorial, you can click on that tutorial. But for today, guys, it's just gonna be a very simple tutorial. And also this week I wanted to upload another video, a review products from very this was actually a requested video. I wanted to upload those videos this week, but because I was kind of delayed with this tutorial, and everybody was asking, okay, when are you going to put up the eyebrow tutorial? So I thought, okay, let me just get this out of the way, and then we can go back into doing the reviews of these products which were requested. You guys are gonna love them. It's very, very exciting, very affordable, like you would not believe it. But let me stop blabbing. Let's go straight into the tutorial. Until next time, guys, stay tuned and thank you for watching. Okay, so I'm going in with the Wet n Wild concealer palette, and I'm just applying this over my brows. If you watched my last week beginner series, you'd see that whenever I do my foundation, I always put some of my foundation over my brows. But because I'm going nowhere today, I decided let me try just adding this concealer under my brows, just so that the product can have more pigment, so that it lasts longer, that it had something to grip on. If you are going to be using pencil, I do suggest that you actually set it with powder before going in with your pencil. But because this is a powder, I'm not going to set it with any powder because it's going to grip very nicely. It's going to have something to hold on, and the pigment is going to be more wonderful. So as you can see, I'm using an angle brush. I always just take some of my concealer and I kind of rub it through my brush just to make the brush a lot more tighter and thinner, so that it's sharper, so that those lines are like really nice and sharp. And just make sure you blend that out. Just mind my hair. I just took off my braids and my hair was looking crazy. I just combed it out and I have no idea what to do with it. Okay, so now I'm going in with the Essence eyebrows. I'm going to be going in with the darker shade. This has a reddish undertone, which I do not like. It also comes with these stencils, as you can see, which I don't use stencils on my brows, but if you want to, that's up to you. I'm going to be using the darker shade. I think next time I'm going to use the lighter shade because that dark shade is very red. I think it will look nice on like a dark skin tone. If you want like a natural brow, that color would look very, very nice. So as you can see, I'm just outlining the shape of my brow. I'm starting from the underneath and I'm making little strokes. I'm trying to be as neat as possible, but as you can see, I really just made a bit of a boo-boo. But concealer is going to bring the entire brow together. So don't mind, my brows might look a bit ratchet now. I haven't concealed. Even the other brow that you see done, it hasn't had concealer, and the concealer just really brings everything together. So make sure you watch the end of the video to see the final look, because the concealer really brings the look together. Now I'm just blending out that line. If you can see, I'm just blending it out so that it's not too sharp, so it doesn't look like a stamp. So I'm going over the top of my brow. And when I do the top of my brow, I try to be as neat as I can because I don't go over with concealer. But what I actually do is I kind of make a really harsh line just so that the edges it has a nice edge and a nice shape. So it kind of looks like if you had concealer but you haven't, because you could hating this sharp edge. So you just want to make sure you go a bit darker on the top edge, but at the same time you also want to make sure you blend it out really nicely, like I'm doing here. So I'm just going to continue to shape out my brow and then fill it in once I'm done with that. As you can see, you want to make sure you don't take your line past your eye, and you want to make sure that it's just right parallel to your eye. You kind of don't want to take it past your eye because it just weighs your face down. Eyebrows are supposed to lift your face up and make your face look really nice, but if you're going to make a long brow that goes past your eye and you bring it down too much, it's just going to weigh your eyes down. It doesn't look very good. If you do it a little bit, but if you do it too much and if you bring them too close together, guys, it just doesn't look very nice. But if that's your preference, then that's your preference. As you can see, I'm just filling in my brow now. I always try to make my brow as sharp as I can, but whenever I'm shooting an eyebrow tutorial, guys, I don't know why I don't get my eyebrows as perfect as I want them. I don't know why I actually shot this video for the second time, because they were not as perfect as I wanted them to be. But when I'm not doing my eyebrows on camera, they come out so perfect. I don't know why. But I'm just filling them in now and making sure that it's neat as possible. Now I'm taking the lighter shade from this eyebrow palette, and I'm going to be doing the front of my eyebrows. I don't normally make the line perfectly straight in front of my eyebrows because I don't like that perfect boxy type of eye. So just kind of just don't stress about if it's looking neat, if it's not straight in the front. Just go ahead and put the lighter shade in your front, because the perfect brow always has like a perfect gradient. So you want to make sure that it goes from light to dark. And don't bring them too close to your nose, like one finger space. No. As you can see, I'm going back again just to go over that line to neaten, to make sure it's nice and sharp. So I'm darkening it and I'm blending it along as I go away. I could have filled out a bit more on the tail, but it's kind of hard when you're on camera and you're trying not to bend. You're trying not to bring the mirror too close to your face so that you guys can actually see what I'm doing. So yeah, I couldn't find my spoolie, so don't pretend like y'all didn't use a toothbrush before. Now I'm just going in with some concealer. This is from the XOXO Camouflage Makeup and Concealer. I did darken it a little bit with my foundation. And yeah, you want to make sure you go right under that line and just clean up. Take your time doing it. Just make little strokes and make sure you clean up your eyebrows so that it's perfectly neat and perfectly bougie. This part you really have to be as neat as possible. So take your time doing it. Don't rush it. And the more practice you do, it's going to be so much easier along the way once you kind of used of doing it. I remember when I was doing my brows, I used to literally take like 20 minutes. Now I think it's like less than 10 minutes to do both of my brows with concealer and shaping and everything. So you will get faster along the way. And I kind of get anxious when my brows are not straight. It's crazy. But yeah, just keep going with that concealer. Keep using more concealer if you need to, and just keep knitting up that brow. And this is really what brings that brow and what gives it perfect definition. If you want to go over the top of your brow with concealer, because sometimes if I make a mistake, if I mess up the top, then I do go over with like my foundation, because I don't like having like a light concealer on the top of my brow, because it doesn't look good and it looks horrible on camera. So just make sure if you are going to do the top of your brow, make sure it's your foundation shade. If you're going to use concealer or foundation, just make sure it's at your skin tone shade. Yeah, and that is how I do my eyebrows. You guys, can you see how it's coming together? And I'm just blending that out. You want to make sure it's perfectly blended, and be careful as well when you're blending. You want to blend out as high as possible, but at the same time you don't want to ruin that line that you just created, that perfect line that's going to give your eyebrow nice definition. You can also go right ahead once you finish blending it and setting your eyes and the foundation with powder. I also normally make strokes with my concealer just to give me like hairlines and make them look more natural. But you can watch that on my other tutorial. I actually do have another eyebrow tutorial, so you can go and see that step on my previous eyebrow tutorial, which was some time ago. And this is the final look, you guys. Don't forget to watch that tutorial if you want to see how I get those hair strokes in front of my eyebrows. But that's about it. Go ahead and set it with translucent powder if you want to. Bye. Okay, that's done. I hope it's saved.